By the way, I'm putting this discussion or meeting on record so that we will have a link later on in the event that your classmates will be randomly disconnected or lose their Wi-Fi connection. Okay, thank you. I can see your answers from here. Thank you for participating. All right, five more seconds probably before I would close the survey that I had prepared. Oh, okay, now let's check your answers. Can you see your answers, guys? So,
Yes,
as
ma'am.
I can see in here, we have a very big uh, chunk, as you can see on our result, several times. Are you hooked so much on Facebook, or your assignments are just on Messenger, or it's actually there? We are having this online class, right? Now, when using your Facebook page or Twitter, have you ever said something negative that you've regretted? Hmm. If you read something disrespectful about someone, would you look the other way? Okay. This time around, I will uh, break you into smaller groups to share what you have answered from our short survey. Okay, in your group, I'll be assigning you to more or less um, three or four in a group. Now, please click the break, join, breakout, and I'll see you after 5 minutes. The last person to join in the breakout group will be the one to report in the big group later. Deal? Okay?
Deal me.
Deal.
Miss,
So,
where can I see the breakout break something I
okay.
don't see here?
There you go, sir. Please join the breakout session. Thank you.
Hello, miss.
Hello, were you alone in your group?
No, miss. You're done, miss. Then I thought kanang kuan leave leave.
Ah, sige, okay na, no problem. Okay, who's the last soul to join from your group? Okay, okay. I guess everyone is starting to come back in the big group session. So how was your sharing?
Okay na, miss.
Kaya miss, kalimot miss uban kuan questions.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so are we all here?
Yes, miss.
All right, who's the last soul to join in their group?
Miss, wala may kahibaw.
Just
Nagdungan lang yun.
came in. Okay, sige. I'll have three people who'd want to share what happened to their short discussion in the breakout.
Yes.
I want to hear from you. Yes.
Hi,
Really, miss.
everyone.
Oh,
Hi, everyone. Good
Go,
morning.
Jess.
So, amo, miss, kay katong question na, do you consider yourself as a digital native kay? Yes, miss, kay since kami na may mobile phones, kasagaran sa mo is mag-scroll sa any social media platforms na kung may buhaton na assignment lugar, magkuan mi sa internet, sa digital world. So, more for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jazz. How about Ashley? Would you like to share?
sa mua, miss, kay among gipili, miss, about sa katong unsa nga site or app among kasagaran nga gi-use, miss, kay ang among nabutuhan, miss, mas dako jud siya ang Facebook og Scope, miss, kay dira na mo nakuha ang uban nga mga necessary nga informations nga mo nakuha, miss, which is tinuod, miss, kanang credible jud siya, miss, na naipakita nga ebidensya inana. And also, miss, about sa education, miss, kay sa mua nga grupo, miss, like karon, miss, lisod man jud kayo nya kasagaran, miss, kay nag-focus ra man gid usay sa Facebook, so dali ra jud kayo, miss, kay sa pamaagi pod sa kanang messenger, miss, then kana po mga ipapasa sa mga teachers, miss, for example sa mga re-ed, miss, magpapas ang teacher nga dito niyo i-post something inana inyong mga taglines inana, miss, so mas accessible siya, miss. That's all.
Yes, thank you, Ashley, for that. So Facebook is like it has the top score. Okay, who else wants to share from their group? Shira, were you the last one to join your group? Yes, I think Anna likes to share. Yes, Anna, or maybe Claire, Miss Valiente.
Group me ni Ashley, miss.
Ah, okay. Nicole.
Hi miss, kanang similar naman kang Ashley, kanang Facebook jud ang mostly na mo gina-use. And then similar sad mig kanang mga kanang answers nga kanang wa mi kanang naka-try na mi nga ma-forward sa lain tao, nga naka-try na mi nga kanang basta kato mo to siya miss.
Thank you for your answers and for your participation. All right. So this time around, let's continue. It's true, no, that in our digital world, we may be victims of those unnecessary things that really happen to us online. Okay. But how can we be a good digital citizen? Do we have some rules? Do we have some laws that protect us? Do we have some policies? What kind of responsibilities of a good citizen do we have? So let's venture on the different things. You know, our online world right now had really commenced into from face-to-face instruction to the digital world. And digital natives should reflect somehow the treasures of a correct, appropriate digital citizen that we are supposed to have. Your personal life should somehow be reflected on the digital world, so we'll see. So there are 9 elements of the digital citizenship. Number one is digital access. So this means that we have the participation on the technology. So technology users just like you, since you consider yourself as digital natives or digital citizens, we give, we ask, we search resources on the online world, or we even communicate into this online platform. However, not everyone will have an equal opportunity whenever they access these resources, right? Especially in the Philippines. Maybe there's still a digital uh, gap between the usage of these different platforms. And we can even see it in our teaching modalities. Maybe some of you guys are having problems this time, especially in connecting with Zoom. However, you are having some digital access. If it's a check, you should get 9/9 to consider yourself a digital citizen. Next one, who among you tried purchasing products or add to cart on
Top
Lazada or Shopee 1111? Who are
Um,
victims of this impulsive buying?
Lista,
Shopee, miss.
tumulak.
Guilty, Your Honor. And then suddenly someone would knock onto your house. Please prepare this amount so that the goods will be delivered to you, and only to find out sometimes that you are a scam. Maybe the item was so small, the review was not really the review that you are waiting for. With so much excitement, sometimes you get devastation because the expectation versus reality would deliver to your face, no? Who among you were victims of scam before with this Lazada online shopping? Oh yes, would you like
ko
to share
miss,
to us, Ashley, what happened?
miss pait kay miss kanang gipit kita sa kwarta miss no yan nag-order kog case sa cellphone miss nga we bears man akong gi-order miss nga ako nakitaan miss kay kuan siya ganan ko kanang transparent miss kana makita ra sus karon miss kay baw ka miss expect jud ko nga ang kanang picture sa luyo miss kay kanang dili cartoon sus pag-abot miss kay ila ka nang pop ka ng bond paper nga white nga giprintan rag now sa mga bears sus Ginoo ko nakaingon jud ko kamay ba og nablihan pa ko ni kamay ba ipabalik ani uy puriyagaba Ginoo ko kasayang sa kwarta.
That's true, no? We are somehow scammed. But be careful lang whenever you do some digital commerce. So if you're doing some digital commerce, you've purchased online, you've sent money digitally, you are definitely part of the second checklist for digital citizenship. So these includes the electronic buying that we do, or you are part of the online selling. Who among you here have new businesses during this lockdown or COVID-19 pandemic? Did you discover that you have the talent in online selling, tagging your friends or imposing you should buy this, support your friends, support little businesses. So technology users like you understand that our market is right now in the digital world. So digital marketing. It's very legitimate, and make sure also, yes, Ashley, umupalit buwad from you. So we should also be aware, especially those if we have already those tendencies if we are facing some scams or there are users who are really not true or maybe hawks. So careful, said Mo. Be sure that they are legit. Number 3, digital communication. I think everybody would agree that we are a big check on this. We use electronic in exchange of information. Communication, our messages would be on emails, chats, instant messaging. We have cellular phones. Smartphones are already a requirement, a necessity. It's already part of the even Wi-Fi is part on the physiological needs of a person. It has a very big chunk, no, in the 21st century communication. So gone are the days that you cannot send message unless well a signal or you don't have connectivity. It's a must to communicate digitally, especially for young people like you millennials. You are definitely a big check on this. Digital literacy. So this means the process of teaching and learning about the technological tools that we have. So in technology, we may use some video conferencing, just like what we are doing right now, online sharing of our resources, or even on our Google Classroom. So our technologies had emerged our learners from the traditional approach to the ICT world where it happened quickly and appropriately, 'di ba? Right now, you are maybe you are confused where you are submitting or where will you check your assignments. Is it on the Brightspace, Google Classroom, Moodle? Is it on Messenger? So every tools that we have online is surely a must to navigate, 'di ba? Next one, digital etiquette. So with the electronics that we are actually using, we need to conduct proper procedures whenever we do this digital etiquette. This also means that you users, digital citizens, should be able to see the area that there is sometimes problem in using this digital platform. There is inappropriate words being exchanged. Sometimes there's aggravation, profanity, misuse of appropriate language, even if it's public. I can see it even on Facebook from you. Number six, we also have digital law. So electronic responsibility, we have actions and deeds. So in the Philippines, we're actually protected by cyber bullying law. So this deals with any unethical ethics, unethical behavior that we do in the online world. It can either be the cyberbullying, cybercrime, or even impersonation if there are people who would pretend that they are your identity. So identity theft is also one of the crimes that we really need to look into this digital world. Next one, we have digital rights and responsibilities. So as they always say, with great power comes great responsibility. So our world right now are really different from technology. It exposed from the set of guidelines that we have. Now we can just openly share our thoughts or emotions, even if we are having problems with our government. We can just easily burst out our emotions, do some agitation. So the ability to have the freedom of speech also entails the freedom and responsibility to speak, and at the same time you should be very careful to whoever is listening to you, to whoever is following and reading on you on Facebook or in these social platforms. Next one, we also have digital health and wellness. So your physical and psychological well-being is definitely connected to your world, and it's a matter of fact our well-being in the digital world has been compromised. Who among you here are sleeping at 4 a.m., 2 a.m., having difficulty in their ability to really sleep? If you're in bed, you still have to linger so much screen time. I think it actually is very active here on chat. Halos kami tanan. Wala, tulganay guys. Natog mo. So,
Malimot gani mi usahay taon miss ligo.
because we are really hooked, no, we have, aside from making ourselves being busy with all these submissions online, some of us may be hooked on doing some internet games, online games. You're addicted to some online games, and with repetition for these things that is happening to your life, it can lead to stress syndrome, or it can lead you to sleep deprivation, or even mental health issues that are very rampant in the world today. Let's check, how are your happy hormones? Our body, our brain would excrete these hormones, and then eventually, with these hormones, we are hopefully able to really allow ourselves to excrete them. Now, when we say um, dopamine, dopamine are those hormones that are the so-called reward hormones. For example, if Camille is being appreciated by her friends, like, comes guwapa kay ka sa imong Facebook, she is actually increasing in her body the dopamine hormones, the reward hormones, or maybe if someone will give her something, or maybe a prize, a tap, a little encouragement, her hormones would increase. Eventually, that dopamine also affects the increase of oxytocin, or what we known as the love hormones. So love hormones, where do we get love hormones? When someone tells you, I love you, when someone tells you, I like you, I really appreciate you, or you hear some words of affirmation. So for example, if Risa would hear, for instance, Risa, I really like the way you dress. I really like the way you answered today. So her dopamine increases, oxytocin, the love hormone increases, serotonin, the happy hormone also increases, leading to abundance of endorphins. What are endorphins? So these are the willpower hormones. So whenever you see and whenever you hear some nice words, mura kag gibayaw sa langit, and then eventually, oy, I can do this one because someone said that I am smart, I am good, I am confident. So make sure that your happy hormones as well are managed properly. In the event that you don't hear not nice words, for example, on Facebook, you wake up in the morning, um, you had a very good sleep, but then you had opened your cell phone in the morning time and you see on Facebook a lot of bad news. The excretion of your happy hormones, which are supposed to be increasing, is actually depleting. You see Facebook updates from your friends. How come she is having this me time, milk tea, burger, fries, and here I am suffering. I don't even have a good sleep because I am having my submission. Depletion of your happy hormones. Too much depletion or absence of too much happy hormones leads to stress, leads to unable to discern properly, and worse is it's leading to suicidal thoughts. So make sure, double check, are you getting your happy hormones? How are your happy hormones? Are they happy? How can we get happy hormones? Number one, we do things that gives us pleasure. We watch things which are green. So time to time, we have this 20-20 rule. So every 20 minutes, you go away from the screen or screen time and you look at on the things that surrounds you. So that is 20-20. 20-20 vision also involves in the rule that you need to look something green, maybe on a green cloth, something green, maybe the leaves, maybe ang mga dahon din na sa saging, tutuki nagmaayo, except green jokes, because it might, maybe it will gives you pleasure, no, on your happy hormones. But 20-20 rule. And one more thing is that to drink a lot of water, because it also increases your happy hormones. And one more thing, dark chocolates, they also help in the abundance of your happy hormones. So if you have boyfriends there, ask them, I want dark chocolates, diba? Okay, now going back to the digital world, becoming an effective digital citizen, we also have to protect ourselves, especially that we have passwords. Digital security means in the society that we are having right now, even if unphysical, we always make sure that our household are locked. We lock our gate, we have padlock. Same also with your account, your username. How are you going to protect yourself with identity theft? So make sure that in the digital community, we put um, passwords that are not easy to be copied with. So I'll give you tips later on. So the passwords, how are they get hacked? So passwords are commonly receiving the usual common passwords, like who among you here are having passwords 1 2 3 4 5 6, or you have your ABCD EFG, so, or the QWERTY keypads that you have, 39 39 seconds hacker usually attack, especially when they see that those passwords are vulnerable. The longer passwords that you have, the lesser chances of being hacked or being get with someone will get your identity theft. Now, hackers steal 75 records every second. They can probably give some cyber crime, or they can indulge themselves of some impersonation online. So out of this, as you can see in the sample of the combination of uppercase and lowercase, it's very difficult to copy, right? So usually, security of these cyber passwords are very important. And these people can easily damage the person's reputation. So what are the keys? First is you make your password long, like maybe 13 to 14. Ay, kapuya sad anag memorize miss oy, di ba no? Kapuy sad no? But it helps you to protect your account. Next, we include numbers. Usually there is a drop down menu or sometimes we have some wizard or reminders whenever we create some account. It would remind us to include uppercase, lowercase, special characters when we create our passwords. The greater difficulty in the combination, the greater chances that it will not be copied or it will not compromise its security. Make sure also you create nonsense phrases like di ka siya obvious or like mga maybe mga um, words that are only you who can understand. Next, avoid using obvious information like your birth date, your mother's name, because remember when you create your account, also there are some security questions being asked. So make sure that you are not using the obvious terms in your passwords. Do not reuse old passwords that you had. Maybe you left it in Google Chrome already. That like automatic save passwords is very dangerous, especially if you use on the internet or you go to coffee shops or computer shops and you left your automatic save for the password. Next, change your password regularly. So the challenge can be kapuyag ilis-ilis og password miss oy, but it can help you protect your account. Okay. To furthermore learn about digital citizens, I have this link where they can actually give you more insights, give you more updates. At the same time, it's a game on how to become a digital citizen. So, you know, learning these things is not only a one time instruction or a one time explanation, because as a digital citizen, we will be hurdling different challenges. There are so many issues that we need to remember, and young people like you can be very aggressive and can be impulsive when you post social media's account or maybe when you give some comments. It is because the frontal lobe of the young people are not really proper developed where it would help you discern things well. So more or less if you're late 20s, you would somehow reflect and go back to those posts that you had created and you might realize, lah, ang gawa. Eh, nga no, ako maning gi-post. Unsa di akong gikuan ani gi-emote-emote. So, you will realize that 5 years from now, when Facebook probably would give you some updates on what you did, on what you post, even with those time. You know, Facebook actually started 2004, where the ones who can only have a Facebook account are those in college and those who has an email address that is connected to their school. Until Facebook in 2006 announced, okay, Facebook will go in public. How about you guys? When did you created your Facebook?
High
Grade
school,
10,
miss, mga
sir. Grade 10, sir.
2012.
2012.
Ako ako miss kay grade
Okay.
2 ko miss, grade 2.
Grade
Kamo na
2. Pag
2000.
sure, uy.
Lagi
Nana de
miss katong
Facebook ato.
2002, mga anak.
Friendster siguro,
ay
Friendster.
Mag-update
Friendster
ako
ko
namin
miss
sa
kay
mag-play
Facebook.
ko games.
So, it
Friendster ka
actually
ni miss.
started was 2000. Yes, we actually had friends. I had Friendster before, and then we have Yahoo Messenger, di ba? Who among you had those account? And weird pa kayo na itong mga Hello Kitty, dot, dot, whatever. So we have those fictitious names and characters. So Facebook actually started 2004. It was just for the elite, for those who are basically in the European countries, but then they went public in 2006. I had my first Facebook account, only one Facebook account, 2009, where it was the time when I graduated and my first year in the working force. So, going back, our student activities involves too much in this digital world, becoming digital citizens. So, we have also digital compass, meaning our Bible, our guide on how we will become a good, effective digital citizens of this online platform. How about you? Can you go to the chat? What can you do to become a good digital citizen? I want you to comment on the chat. Just a short reflection. Okay, go to chat. And how can you be a good digital? Okay, we have here, think before you click. It's okay, Claire. Be responsible in your action. Value privacy. That's nice, Jazz. Proper usage of gadgets on social media with control. Okay, with moderation. Okay, always observe proper etiquette. Yes, avoid fake news. So watch with those fake news that can uh, have a trickery on people. Okay, so keep your answers coming, guys. I will read them. Now, there are two pillars in our digital citizen world. First is respect. So we value acceptable use of policy. So in school, usually they have their own governing rules and bodies. So like for example, remember during the orientation that you had for the SAL, they mentioned to you this and that, the rules if you post, and even Mr. Attorney Vela sampled, I think there were four students who were uh, asked from the student affairs and office that they were sanctioned for such comments that they posted. Diba you remember that
Yes, Miss.
when you had your
Yes,
orientation?
miss.
Okay.
Yes.
Character education is also important whenever we do this digital citizenship. So decency and the words, appropriate in the language, and avoid also cyber bullying. Another pillar of digital citizenship is protect. So we need to protect your identity, your password, your user account, and even the image that you play here on online world. So if you have some linkages on BPI, mga GCash, or even different bank transaction, make sure also you protect them because some people are actually waiting. They're active. Remember, there are hackers. They wait for those account, and that might lead to the dark world or the dark web, where what they usually do, they use those things so that they can somehow sell those account, and that account can give them much money. Catfishing also does not happen will not happen only physically but also in the online world. So yesterday someone shared that her mom was traumatized because something like nabastos or was able to receive an not decent exchange of messages. Who among you here has had been a victim of chat room, mga ideal chat room account that you ventured in, but it was something that had hurt you in a sense that it compromised or even um, had led to not nice things? Or who among you joined here mga dating apps, dating sites? Or maybe you had experienced those things. Next one, we also have responsibilities such as, okay, not so sure who is talking this time. Let me see. Okay. All right. So let's continue. So, how can we become responsible in our becoming a digital citizen? Number one, golden rule. So remember, do not do unto others what you don't want others will do unto you. Do not spread gossips online. So in our messenger, we actually, it's not encrypted, meaning there is no third party that will protect us whenever we exchange messages in our messenger. Good thing that there is the unsend button right now, right? Or remove the message. But there are still people who will be able to have a record. Who among you here watched the Social Dilemma? It's actually a um, nice documentary regarding social media usage, at the same time how to become cautious in everything that you do online. Keep your information private. So do not share your information, your account. Maybe you can write it somewhere, but make sure that you are able to keep it. Stand up if someone is a victim of bullying, or maybe you are the one who bullied. So you better stop those things. And I like it when someone shared, think before you click. It's thinking about the future. So before you post, is it true? Is it hurtful? Is it illegal? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it helpful? So think before you post. So remember, the golden rule is also remembering our etiquette, or the proper etiquette that you do online. Traditional golden rule is that we treat people the way we wanted to be treated, right? We are kind, we give nice words so that we will also encourage the increase of the happy hormones that they will have. Labeling. There's no place for name calling in the web. It's okay to report also abusive people who might be demeaning with their actions, demeaning with their words. Behavior. Even though other people don't use proper manners online, decent language, you can model them. You can show to them how to, and you can even correct in a positive way, in a nice way, right? Next, do not spread gossip. So proper discernment as what you've known. So make sure also that you're able to give your students at the same time, the people that surrounds you, the proper way on sharing stories, sharing false accusations. Do not indulge yourself as such. So be critical thinkers also. Do not pass on false information, sharing mga fake news. Remember the time last, maybe past months, whenever you post in your social media account that someone in your barangay has COVID-19, pwede ka mapriso, di ba? Because it is very crucial whenever you send some information that are not true. Another thing is that protect online privacy. So it's repeatedly mentioned, protect account, don't share account, protect your identity online. But also, you remember that it was May when we need to check if we have another account. But I was even a victim. I have another account. I didn't even create another Facebook account. But then I had two accounts during that time. Who among you here was also a victim for that? Did you observe that, guys? Did you check that one? Yes, no, Rona. Maybe you have a different account that you did not create, but then it was there online, or maybe someone had impersonate you. Ah, si Kata, oy. Yes, I think there are people who are, they don't have much work probably, and they probably are trying to fish out some money or any monetary funds that they can get from people. Next one, we also have this tendency. Girls, I have a question. Why is it we take a picture, five picture of one post? Nga naman jud na siya, Jessa? Jessa, why is it when you take pictures, you are having the same post, but then there are a lot of snapshot, or you captured many times? Ariel, are you like that? Yes, more pics,
Again,
more
miss?
choices. Okay. Like for example, you take a picture, one post niya, anong kalimaman ka mo take picture on that post?
Kaya magngita ako kung nindot nga angle, miss. Kaya gamay akong naong.
Yes, no, it's the matter of the angle that we need to flex whenever we are doing this, taking pictures, so that the best will be posted on the, yes, collect and select, ingon ni John. It will be posted on Instagram or in the social media. Actually, Instagram, Facebook is a gossip, a gossip world. Now, digital time that we have, we estimate too much time. We have so much time interacting in these communities. Sometimes also it's very important that we, long before we just write on paper, we journal. Like me, as I've mentioned, I am a daughter of an OFW. It would take me longer months for me to get an update from my papa. But now I'm so blessed. My papa can even remind me at 2 a.m. He would tell me, why you're still online? Katulog na. Unya, kanang sleep na ma'am. So my father is right now in Brazil is helping me to be reminded of things. But before growing up, I don't have a good kanang father relationship. But now with technology, I'm so happy that he even checks on me because it's his morning time there and it's already nighttime, or we have a different time zone. Another thing, sometimes but not all the time, that it is successful, a long distance relationship are already encouraged this time, but you still need to protect, right? Katong mga nay kauyaban din ha. Does long distance relationship exist truly and safely in the online world? Some also found their love in the online world, maybe mga dating apps, dating sites, nagka-like lang sa Facebook. 'Di ba there is those stories that we heard from Jessica Soho, or even the ones that you followed online. And then you actually followed a celebrity. I think it's a famous one that they just meet each other in the social world, and then right now they're creating some um, YouTube, and there are influencers, kumbaga. Don't you know that in the recent Hootsuite, this is where we can get some updates. So they actually studied the 2019 online usage that they have. So in the big platform in the world, they have the recent August 2020 record. But in the Philippines, what I only knew, what I researched is just the January 2020. So this is basically the last year's account. So maybe you're part of this statistics. So in the population of the Philippines, we have roughly 1.5 million, and along with that chunk, the online world is actually penetrated by a lot of Filipinos. We're very active in the online platforms, and exponentially, we have used Instagram at the same time Facebook with these numbers that you can see on the screen. So we can really somehow say that we are really active. Filipino users are really on Facebook. Female has a very large number of audience in the statistics, and male roughly we have 36.2%. Whenever you go to the search engine, number one that they would usually check are the movies. What are those hot topics, hot movies that they can somehow binge watch with? And I was really surprised. Wow, kada nang ginto. Nahook yun ni ang mga tao sa kada nang ginto. I'm actually wondering what will be the search engine query for this year. Maybe aside from COVID-19, it can be the bawal lumabas, or maybe other stuffs. What do you think? What can be the search engine that you usually check? Maybe online class, or module, suicidal tendency, or anything. So we'll just have to wait. So these are actually the search engine queries that Filipinos will have. We even have Blackpink. Oh, who are those mga army? Purple army here
Yeah.
with those light sticks, and mga K-pops. So, or mga Korean movies. So BTS, BTS lang ang malakas. So BTS milk tea ra gyud akong nahibaw-an, mga Blackpink and all. So I actually starting to listen because I have a cousin who's really sending me a lot of messages. Please watch this video, like this video, maski wa ko kasabot. And then one day, um, I watched the concert without an expensive ticket. How did you do that? Are you hackers, guys? Or pahingi ng link? So link lang, no? And you were able to watch those live streaming. Yes, kamuha. So careful also whatever those search engine. However, we can also see in the statistics that a lot of Filipino peoples are actually having smartphones. They have their own digital devices, either prepaid or postpaid. So it's not true that the Philippines is not a digital country. It is actually. As a matter of fact, in Southeast Asia, it ranks two, aside from Singapore. Next one, we also have the category on what are they usually doing in the online world. So number one, they exchange message. They exchange a lot of these communications online. We also have social networking apps where they would check the one that you've mentioned. You check news, updates from the internet. Who among you here has a Netflix account? Murag necessity na gyud ang Netflix, or you share an account to someone, or maybe you have also been part of the statistics of the music or Spotify. So Spotify usually has this update every Monday, Monday Discovery, that they just send 30 new songs or maybe new discoveries for songs until it will be familiar to you. 68%. Who among you here are part of this statistics on online gaming? Or maybe we are here on the shopping ads, shopping apps. So mga Lazada, Shopee, sa pa na, Zara, and all, Amazon. Okay, so true. So online gaming, I think Anna is one of the very active online gamer. We also have scheduled different items. So in marketing, in digital commerce, marketing already transcends in the digital world. Kumbaga, it really is in the online transaction. Another statistics show, okay, this is quite alarming. I want you to pay attention on this update. So for the Philippines, we had the result in dollars that our commerce, our economy, just online, ha? So imagine this is just online. So we roughly have to spend Filipinos on beauty products, on maybe some clothing, some beauty regimen, and all those stuffs for girls. So usually mga women. However, we have also a good number, like dato siguro yung mga Filipinos, we have 258 million expenditures on just electronics and 152 million on food and personal care. Maybe our farmers, our people who would sell these goods are not basically online. No, we just do it physically. But if you check on the last image here, Sir John, would you like to comment? How come it's 741 million video games? Who would like to explain this
Sub
statistics being given to us?
video game 741 million. Though especially kids these days, they're engaged in games, computer games. So example, best example is my nephew. Uh, every time there's an update for PS4, any games from PS4 games, he will always grab it, even though it's limited. Like it costs a lot, like 10,000 per game. He will purchase it because these days, this generation of kids are really into games, and that's the only thing that parents who can afford can give their kids because they're busy working as well. So at least their kids have something to do at home or during their free time, just not to go outside. So I think that's the reason why.
Thank you, Sir John. So true, no? We usually have to purchase these games. Maybe download this app whenever the amount is such amount, or even my Zoom account. I need to purchase my Zoom account so that I will be able to use it. And there are other activities that you really need to pay. Sometimes you can pay it with credit cards or PayPal or your bank transaction. Another top grocery list that we have is usually Lazada shoes. So Filipinos are into the online app for Lazada. And furthermore, we have the value on advertising marketing. So as you can see, a big expenditures that we can check online, that the marketing strategies are really immersing here on the digital world. Like whenever you watch on YouTube, those influencers would remind us, please do not skip the ads. So they are probably getting a lot of money for those YouTube accounts that are being followed by their followers, or maybe us. Sometimes I will not skip the ad, so that it's just my way of thanking that influencer or that site that I am learning also. So I'll just allow it to run through like maybe 10 seconds lang mana sometimes, no? So don't skip the ad even if it's very tempting. Sige na, because you're so excited to continue what you are actually listening to. You can also search on Statistica. So they will give us the global statistics and how we use our online world and how we are able to navigate with the digital marketing. And if you want to be a good digital marketers also in the future, what are those perfect time to post? So kabantay mo when I post, it's usually evening or usually 7 p.m. because it's the time that I usually observe that I have so many likes when I post in 7 p.m. because people are actually there or people are somehow they are active kumbaga or they are having the downtime already. I don't usually post in the morning kay mingaw kay ni wala kay ni mga students na ko di kini sila kabasa if I have a thoughts to share or if I want to give an update. But the previous weeks busy lang jud kaayo ko daghan kitag mga transaction no, sa atong online classes, so I don't post anymore. So how about you? You just post anytime? So there's actually a way to post. But unless daghan jud kag mga followers na influencer, you can just get as many likes, as many posts that you can get. Because in the digital world, in the marketing, there's a proper time to uh, post. Para dili siya malubong, siya ma-cover up with all those posts that other people also give. You know, another statistics is also, I don't know if it's alarming, but it can be amazing or alarming. So for women, we actually have a very big chunk in the usage of the Facebook. So we are on Facebook account, and the number, the age bracket that are on Facebook are 18 years old to 24. So you are here, right? Namo ani nga kuan statistics. And we still have the millennials who are able to join and engage themselves in the online platform, which contains the 2.4%. So we Filipinos are indeed active on Facebook. So 74 million Facebook users are Filipinos here in the Philippines. And roughly it was projected in 2025, we will have 88.1 million Facebook users. So it's actually increasing. So another statistics that I found in 2029 of September until the recent September, still Facebook is the running Facebook social media account that Filipinos are actually active with. Okay, so what do people say? Okay, what do people say again regarding this digital world? I'll show you the short. So, how can we really promote to become a good citizen? So, I told you it's not an overnight transaction or application. It's actually forever. It's a process, guys. So, make sure you don't share any private informations that you have. Even the exchange of messages may be the one that you are intimately sharing to people. Do not make Mm. Do not share it online, or maybe you can just make a call and then especially me, if I have a very confidential thing to talk with or like it involves money, I would call the person for the validation or to make sure that it is the true identity that's calling me. You know, yesterday someone mentioned that their family had just encountered a scam. Imagine a scam sila og 50,000 last year, and then recently pag September 100,000 because someone messaged them na ilahang dad is got an accident, something something, and they need to pay 100,000. And imagine, this is a Hosenian friend of yours. It was really heartbreaking listening to her story yesterday that they were part of the cybercrime, na victim sila sa cybercrime. Whenever it involves money or anything, something confidential, make sure to verify, double check, because we don't want also to become victims and be left hanging and with the financial status that we have. How can we protect? So contact numbers, whenever you give it out, make sure that the other person whom you share with contact numbers also know that the contact numbers are sharing. Because diba, sometimes you receive calls, asa man ni sila gikan sa akong number, you don't know. And they will like tell you nga, "Panagsikuan ba, so and so, kay na siya problema." And even I have a co-teacher in our own department, their family member had to give 200,000 pesos because they thought that their family member also had an accident. Nya kana bitaw, ma'am, gitawagan ka na mo ma'am kay mao ni ang ID nga naa diri sa kuan, information ma'am, emergency number and contact person. And sometimes you cannot think properly whenever, especially family members, di ba? So double check, verify. Passwords, make sure it's only for you. Do not share it. Think before you post. Another thing is that keep your informations only to you to become responsible digital person. Cyberbullying. So who can be the victims of this cyberbullying? You know, in the online world, cyberbullying can happen anytime to young children, to you, or anyone who's in the social network. In the Philippines, we have two types of cyberbullying. The one that is publicly acknowledged, and the second one is the group or cyber mob. Active kita ni. We may be we commented to these people. Sometimes we don't know, hala, na part na day ko atong cyberbullying. So in the Philippines, it can be a message being received by the person threatening life, security, telling that your family members will die, or will get your family members, something like that. Or it can be a secret that you shared and you'll be um, having the emotional blackmail or maybe blackmail online, spreading photoshop images like na naked na, or like na photoshop na nudity and all those profane images inappropriately being shared, especially no kanang magbulag unya naay ka ng scandal nya i-share sa ex na hadlo kayo na ayaw jud mo pag-record guys kung naaman gani na tagbaw jud mo. So spreading videos that are supposed to be private can be um, detrimental also to the victim. Di ba we had that one in our USJR? Remember that one? It was my first year of teaching in USJR, and then suddenly there was this girl, nagbulag sila, unya gi-upload tong uh, ilang inappropriate posts supposedly, and then that girl even students there were asked not to wear USJR uniform because they are teased like a USJR mo ako. So I even heard those stories that it's not only you're representing a school, at the same time na damage but somehow yung image ba. In the Philippines, we actually have a record. This is 2019. The effects of cyberbullying and what are those activities they do. So maybe someone sent a very mean a message. Have you experienced this one, guys? Like someone is really annoyed, you task siya message, then eventually it linger on your thought, and the hormones that you have, wala na, depleted na. Then magmaoy dayon. Yeah, somehow you are distracted in choosing. There's a very thin line between reality and your online world. Or maybe nabuwagan, ya grabe kaayo kuan. Diba kung mabuwagan kay na yung mga mahay, kanang ikaw manggod, daghan kay mga storya nga, storyabot, nga sakit na jud kaayo niya. These are actually digital footprint, meaning whenever you read it at times, it has a different emotion. Labi na kung ikay nagbasa din ha emote niya, lahi dito ihag intonation, daghan jud ta ani ma-victim gid ta ani. Spreading gossips and a lot of things can happen. So any one of you received someone reacted negatively, maybe on your emoticons, angry mode. Grabe you kay angry mode whenever you are joining webinars or you check people who are really damaging, or katong recently mga DJ Lonyo, at sa pa ng mga stories, or the Korean that really created some nuisance in disrespecting our Philippine flag, no? I was really in an angry mode with that, but I did not join in the online world of giving harsh comment. So, did you receive some threats of messages that were very harmful to you, leading you to depression and all those uh, sad emotions? Don't you know that if someone tells you you are fat or you are plumped, and then you are hurt, pwede na nimo makasuhan. It's actually from the House Bill 5718. That person can definitely give you a fine of 50,000 to 100,000, or if you want them to be in prison 6 months until 6 years, if it occurs in the Supreme Court. So that's it. So pwede nila makasuhan, miss, kung kanang gibully ta online. Yes, we're actually protected with the Anti-Bullying Act of 2015, or the House Bill 5718. Before, usually if may mga bullies, they are just silent. They just dust off those stories under the rug because they think wala man gid digital law nya kanang kung anak ba kay daghan na kayo siya emotions na na feel. But don't you know, with awareness, we actually have these laws protecting us. So careful lang dyan ng mga bully, or even you guys, if you bullied someone. We also have this cyber lynching. Filipinos are definitely strong people. However, our strength also becomes our weakness. Have you seen right now there are TDS, there are Duterte trolls who are really breaking us, dividing us Filipinos to really participate and just support our government. But nonetheless, we have also a very we have the choices that we make. We choose which pillar are we. Are we on the administration, or are we against administration? But nonetheless, we also wanted to share our thoughts. We are sometimes Filipinos are volcanologists. Mga may kaayo dito pagkuan February ni buto ang bulkan. Pagkasunod pag March na sad kay ang mga Filipinos nahimo namang chemists, scientists and doctors because we comment, we share our thoughts on the COVID-19. Pag abot sa may unhimo naman sa mga politicians giving all those executive orders, the laws, and bawal lumabas and all. So grabe yung kini mga Filipinos sa paghuman pag kanina sa pag August and then September nahim na sang mga superintendents on education because of these transactions on the online platforms, modality in the modules. O ini ka October mo unsa naman sad ta, or even November, what can be our next role in the online platform? So it's up to you guys to choose and behave properly. So in schools, we actually have laws, we actually have rules to follow so that we can secure you people. So in my case, I'll become your digital parent. That is why I'm sharing a lot of these things. I really search so much things, and you know, there's really a wide information regarding digital citizen. And sometimes students will just post anything that they want online, but there's actually a proper way. There should be guidance. Parents should be educated. Students should be educated how to behave properly in the online world. Now, what to avoid? What to avoid, guys? Number one, are you a victim, or were you the one victimizing? Flaming. You join yourself in online fights, like you share vulgar comments. Usually, I check that one on ABS-CBN. Binabay student, this yes, JR. Nabay ko andri familiar nga names. Kaya usually, it will notify if you have a common friend on that account, especially GMA News or ABS-CBN News. Katong nawala sa ABS-CBN, daghana lagi mga students. Lami kayo kasabaan bantay lang jud mo under mo na ako sa kuan edtech. So this is flaming. Maybe you joined this comment section. Harassment. Someone send you not so nice messages. For example, abubuas sad nimo uy kana. Sometimes no, it's not already filtered, or like na used to naman kumis sendan ko ginana nga message. It's actually part of harassment, and if that words will be hurting your feelings, and it will be coming over your to your senses, that person can be sanctioned too. Remember those anti-bullying cyber law. Pwede kaayo na di denigration, sending gossips, posting some rumors that may destroy friendship. Sometimes also this falls to relationship or even family members that are sharing some information or posting different gossips, or sometimes mahibong na lang ka mukalit og post nga nasuko. Yo, hala nga no din isikuan. And then it's actually publicized. So remember, there's this old adage: do not wash your dirty linens in public. So if you are having some rough edges with your brother or your siblings, the social media is not a proper way to vent out your emotion. You talk to the person, di ba? Or else people would know, hala, uy, sa din nilang family, away-away man ni. So, make sure also, sometimes mag-uyab, or kanang hilig jud kay mo ani kanang mo post og ay na-share. Yeah. patama kayo sa uyab, sa family member or sa classmate baron nga, especially mga dawlim, dawat limpyo nga classmate, dili mo participate, especially kaning online world, group work, na group work miss ay di ko ginaha group work kay ako rin mo trabaho, dawat limpyo ng uban. Oh, di ba nya? Dili mo sulti sa classmate pero naka-share na sa post niya. Sometimes ang imong classmate para sa Rosy Pacquiao, di maguna ako. Pero it was the person that you wanted to read that comment, or sometimes we have this tendency gyud. I'm also guilty of that kanang ang imong the person who is able to see ba kay katurang intended person, di ba? There's this option on Facebook, o kani akong uyab ra jud akong patamaan ani, or like kani ra jud akong set of friends para matamaan mga English major, something like that. So we are really guilty of charge for this one. Or else kani kamo jud ni guys, kita jud ni in my day, di ba? Patama kaayo, but then kana mga big brain or kanang kuan, it really hurts. I'm also a victim of this. Maybe ako na to ang gipost nga maldita nga teacher, or kanang mga teachers na to online, mga sana all. May pag kamahal ra ba sa tuition sa San Jose nyo, mauran ni among online class. Agoy. So that is why I'm also working hard to really give you my justice in the tuition fee that you have. Pero ambot lang ang ubang teachers, no? Bahala na sila. Basta I'm accountable to my allegiance to my students. Next one. Are you this person? Impersonation, meaning someone is getting your identity and they post uh, an account of yours, or maybe mga pictures nimo din nga sexy kayo ka and all those nude photos. So usually it happens to those celebrity. Outing, like if sharing of someone's secret and then nag-away mo, hala i-reveal dayon. Lain kayo no, asa naman natong kuan ani friendship status. So usually mahitabo yun ni, and then mag-block dayon ka, imo dayon i-hide, unfriend dayon, nya kung maulian dayon, hala unsa man ni nakoy makaibaw siya nga ako siyang gi-block. Oh, mao na siya. Trickery also is very crucial, like you embarrass or reveal someone's secret and then mahibong na lang mga people, uy, inani di ang baho ani, like recently, are you also part of that mga pictures nga gipang screenshot and then you would, okay, get ready with your popcorn. Yeah, basa din ka nila, ready mga chismosa. Recently, I checked on Pia Wurtzbach and her sister, nga nag-away sila, kataas ra bagid sa ilang comment, no? Sa iyang katong my day nga gipang screenshot. So, and then we also have the one in Catriona Gray's dark mode of the ex-boyfriend. Oh, kita po ani guys. So yes, si Clint. And then recently, we are also binge watching on those updates from celebrities who are probably nabuntis, wala na sa industry or niadto sa other country. And then we really subscribe. Then we also follow these people, we share those people nga nindot og life story. It's actually encouraging for us, right? But sometimes hilig kita mo share aning mga stories nga wa joy lami. Ngano man jud na guys? Are you also part of the cybercrime? For example, you intentionally did not include that people. For example, gi-remove. Hala nga no, gi-remove day ko. Hala na, day sila ilain nga GC. Nya, sila rang upat, miss. Nya, best friend mi, miss. Grabe kaayo, miss. O na siya magsumbong-sumbong na ko, ani. Exclusion is part of cybercrime. Like, gitaktak or gi-remove sa GC or wala gyud gi-include. Naibong na lang ang person. Wala na lagi ko'y friends. Wala na lagi mo reply na ako. Cyber stalking, who among you are part of the members who stalk and then maybe you are receiving, yesterday someone shared na do mga Arabo sending to them some messages or like inappropriate mga sana sexting. That's the term. So be careful also entertaining those people. Cyber threat also can lead to someone's committing on suicide. So I have even a friend, um, she had met someone and they had a 6-month relationship, and what they do is mag-exchange agad sila message kuan, pictures, updates, and then after 6 months, that boyfriend, a foreign boyfriend whom he thought is working as an army, is suddenly sending a parcel So nado ipadala diri sa Philippines kay moadto sila sa certain country for war. So my friend asked me, Nati, can I borrow 50,000? Wow, 50,000? Mag-unsa gud taon ka, uy. Nakay business. Siya, di ka na akong boyfriend ba? Pabayron man noon ko kanang kuan sa kanang sa fright ko noon ko. Uy, pag careful jud ana kay na jud na scam ron, and only to find out that it was really a part of the syndicate. They live in Kenya because we really investigated that one. They are really part in a syndicate group, and their victims are those vulnerable women. Labi na kanang they would study your profile. For example, they just follow you. They would know your, if you like dogs, if you like cupcakes, if you like color pink, nature, and that will be their form of conversation, so that you'll have the connection of the level of interest. Then later on, that you already have emotional connection, di ba? Kay mo trust na ka, sige na mo chika, then money will be involved. So be careful, Jude, guys, ha, with these things. And just a heads up also that we can be a victim. We can be a part of this cybercrime. We can be the victim. We can victimize people. And another one also, Christian Albarando. Same gihapon, kuan. Nakabayad sila 1,500. It was asking them, I think 10,000. He really shared yesterday, and then gingnan ko no nila ang ilang ka-chat nga wala man mi kwarta. So they only said 1,500, but still it's a huge amount no for a student nga nagpadalag kwarta sa unknown person. So kamo sad guys, ayo mo pag indulge with these things. And what can we do? Number one is to avoid them. Do not entertain those people, especially people that you don't know. Okay? Make sure that maybe if it's a classmate, they are really under our school laws, school rules, so they can be expelled, they can have penalties, or even be arrested from 6 months to 6 years. Next one, if you're a victim, speak up. Report these things that happen to you, because number one, people will really be accountable with the move that they have, with the messages that they send to you, provided that you take screenshot, you have evidences. So, pwede jud na makasuhan. Another thing, distressing is a very important thing to do to that person. Kaya nga no, the more na mag-pent up ang emotion sa person, the more that person belittle himself. Even if others would see goodness in her, but there's that big pile of emotional baggages. Someone told me that I was nobody. Katong akong ex, miss, grabe jud kitong sulti na ko, miss. Niya, i-share da yun, screenshot pa niya. Ako'y makabasa, samot, na share na pod, contagion effect. Remember, our emotions on Facebook, our emotions in social media are actually affecting us. That is why you follow those happy posts, those nice posts, and then you unfollow those too much information overload with number one, suicidal thoughts. The more you share those suicidal tendencies, stories, reports, it is actually putting on your brain. It's actually going into your subliminal messages. Muna, sometimes you also entertain. Ah, okay naman, naghikog-hikog. Uy, oo, naghikog, bata kaayo. Those thoughts are actually magnified on our brain. That is why, remember, keep safe always in the online world and be responsible. So if you happen to see some modules, reasons for suicide or even news, do not share it, because you don't know kinsay makabasa sa imuhang gi-share nga post, and yeah, the hormones, the happy hormones are depleted, samot ni pent up na, and you contributed to the cause of that digital post. Now, unless our society and until they recognize that cybercrime for what it is, the suffering of thousands who are silent victim will continue. So avoid, speak up, and stand up for this. Remember, we also have digital imprint. The things that you post online, it will be there forever. Even if you unsend it, even if you delete it, it's already copied in the algorithm in the digital world. So digital footprint, these are information that leaves behind while you are in the internet. Maybe kanang search engine ninyo din ha, sa nanyang gipang search mga porn, sa um, mga inappropriate words. Even if you delete history, they already have a copy on what you are actually watching. The exchange of messages that we have, even if I will delete the Google Classroom that we have, they already have a copy in this uh, big record that they have in this online platform. The tweets that you ranted, oh, it's already there. It's copy. Even the likes, that we are doing, they also study that one. So think before you post, guys, and make sure the post that you created there leaves an impact to the students, to the people that surrounds you. Okay, so be responsible. We also have some normal jargon such as PM send, free data, how much, cash on delivery, mine, you are lagging teacher, webinar, screen share, backread, or even log in. So these are some of the examples. Health is wealth, as they say. And in using technology, health should be properly encouraged to you so that you will not be stressed, too much stress. Your eyes for 2020 rule. So make sure not too much screen time can also lead you to headaches. Contact also makes sure that you also disconnect time to time. Usually Sunday, I do a digital detox, meaning I don't use my mobile phone. So palayo sa ko sa mobile phone so that I will be able to see my real self, sad ba? Like talk to my parents, to my siblings, water the plants, and so you find time to have digital detox. And I don't usually post activities on Sundays. Okay? Kuan, di ko magpasamok, or you should be a real person, not only sige rag cellphone. So in the real scenario in the Philippines, we actually have cyber wellness. So they talk to people, they would engage teens how to become digital citizens in the world. So there are actually activities of this. I even joined one, and it's so nice that you become aware of how to behave properly online. So we will learn more about these things next meeting, and that would be technological tools and the intellectual property. All right. For the end session, we actually uh, are supposed to have another activity. However, I will just post it in Google Classroom, and I'm still deciding how are we going to do over with our midterm exam. So it's not the multiple choice type. It will be another. It's a project. Kumbaga, it's a product that you will create. But I still need to decide. Okay lang? So I'll see you again next Tuesday for another discussion. Yes, I will send a PowerPoint. Thank you for the reminder. Si Rona, junitig remind na ko. Mahadlok jud aning Rona. Eh. Yes, so I will see you again next time. So thank you so much for today.